Hey everyone, PTL here, getting ready to do my first gear review. Okay, so the first piece of gear I'd like to go over is my tent. Last year when I did the Connecticut section, I used this old Eureka Apex XT tent. It's a 3-man tent. It actually weighs 7 pounds, 10.46 ounces. So let's compare that now to the new tent I have, which is the Z-Pax duplex tent. Thanks to my wife who bought that for my birthday. So the Z-Pax tent comes in at 1 pound, 3.4 ounces. I did add the clothesline clamps to it, along with a string to go across so I could hang my clothes on it. And that brought the total weight, including that add-on, to 1 pound, 3.52 ounces. So I did get quite a bit of a savings in weight going from that old tent to the duplex. And these are the stakes in the bag I put them in for my tent. I had some lighter weight ones, but they're kind of flimsy. If you hit some rocky ground, they don't hold. But these are the MSR mini groundhogs. I got 6 of those for using the 4 corners and then the pullouts. And then for the pole stakes, I use these North Face 7075 T6s. They're a little bigger and stronger, so I use those to hold the poles. Again, a little heavier than you can do, but they hold the tent pretty well and go into the ground good. So that's what I'm going with for now for stakes. So the next thing I like to go over is my backpack. Last year when I did the Connecticut section, I carried this green pack here. It's a Cabela's XPG pack. It's pretty heavy. It weighs 5 pounds, 2.9 ounces. It's a little bit big on me too, so it was awkward carrying that and heavy. I like this pack. It's a EMS pack. It weighs 4 pounds, 15.92 ounces. Again, a little bit heavy. I do like that pack. It's an old external frame pack. I used it backpacking up in the White Mountains many times. So I do like it, but it's old, and so I switched that out, and we'll go to my new one. So now I'm using the Mountain Gear Hyperlight. This pack comes in at 1 pound, 15.94 ounces. Not sure what the actual rating is when I bought it, but I just weighed it now. And I used this on my recent Massachusetts section hike. Much lighter than the other one. It was comfortable. So that's what I'm going with for now. So far it's been good, and quite a bit of weight savings switching to that pack. So the next thing I'll show you is my sleeping bag, which is an older North Face Blue Kazoo mummy bag. Down-filled. I'm sure it's lost some down over the years. So I used it again on my recent Massachusetts hike. This comes in at pounds, 4.21 ounces. So this is the North Face Blue Kazoo. It's an older one. I'm probably not going to I think I may go in and get a 20-degree quilt for the trail ultimately. But that's what I'm going to use for now. It's summertime. If it's too warm, I can just sleep outside of it. If it gets cold at night, then I'll just zip myself up in there, but it is a little confining for me. So that's the sleeping bag I'm going to go with. Just have an old sack there that I'll put it in. But and for poles, I'm using the Black Diamond Trail Pro. And using trekking poles is something fairly new for me. I never used trekking poles. And to go with that, I actually always wore big heavy boots like this pair here because I have weak ankles. And so I always if you have weak ankles, you want to strengthen and build them up. And one way you do that is to wear trail runners or low-cut shoes. Use the hiking post to give you support. But with the lower cut shoes, you can feel the ground better. You know what's coming, and so you're more likely to strengthen your ankles. And so far, it's been working. Even when I hiked with big, high, heavy boots, my ankles got tired, and I often sprained my ankles. And so far, using the low cuts with the poles, I haven't sprained my ankles yet. For shoes, on this last hike, I used these Salomon trail runners. These are the Odyssey. I tried these down at Trail Days. Salomon was there. They let you try some shoes. They weren't actually selling them there, and I actually was able to borrow a pair for a couple hours, wear them around, and they were comfortable. So I bought these. I just used them on my last hike. First time I didn't get blisters, so no blisters on a 60-mile hike. They were comfortable, worked well, so I did like them. They're a little bit, I was encouraged to get them a little big. They were a little big. I thought my feet were sliding around a little bit, but I got to say it was a positive experience using these on my last hike. I also have a pair of Merrell, the Moabs, and these I've been using on just day hikes, short ones, and I like them. They're very comfortable. I see mixed reviews on them. Some people say, in the wet, they hold the moisture longer. But I'm going to try these on my next hike. I'm going to do another hike up in Massachusetts soon, so I'm going to give those a shot on a longer hike, see how I do with them, if I have any problems with blisters. So those are the shoes I'm trying out right now. I also have just a pair of sandals. I may get a pair of Crocs, for river crossings and night, but for now I'm using these. So the next thing I'm going to get into is some of my clothing. For my base layer thermals, I have these Under Armour 3.0. I've got some nylon underwear that are wicking. They'll dry fast. I have similar t-shirt here, a Reebok nylon t-shirt. That'll probably be the main shirt I wear most of the time as my undershirt. I do have this old LL Bean one. I'm not sure what the material is, but again, I got this a long time ago. It's a long sleeve, a wicking shirt. I've used it for years and years hiking. It's lasted, so I still like to wear that. It's long sleeve. I have another long sleeve one, 100%, or this one's like 93% nylon with a little bit of spandex in it. But this one's a little warmer and thicker, so I'll take that along. For pants, I have these, I think they're Cabela pants, nylon, with the zip-off legs, so I can take those off and use them as shorts as well. I have a number of different socks, a couple pairs of regular Darn Toughs. These are the Darn Tough short socks, as well as for wet weather. I have these sealskin socks, recommended by a friend. Again, those are waterproof, so those will be nice if I get when I get into the wet weather and everything's soaked. I get up in the morning. If I can save those for the morning and throw those on before I put on my wet shoes, that'll be nice. Right now, I don't have the clothes I want for sleeping, so I'm just going to bring, I like to sleep in a cotton t-shirt, so it's a little heavy, but you don't want to get it wet either. But this is going to be my sleeping t-shirt, and same thing, I just got a pair of cotton shorts for now. Over here I have a puffy. It's the Redhead puffy. And another piece of clothing that I'm gonna need is a fleece type of jacket or shirt or something. For now, again, I'm just for something to wear around camp or when I get in my tent if I'm cold. I can throw that flannel shirt on. I'll try to keep it dry in my pack, in the bag, or I could throw on this nylon shirt. For colder weather, right now I have this hood that I can take with me. A little bit heavy, so I may try to get something lighter. And I also have these packed up here are the Frog Tog pants and jacket for my rain gear. I have a light gear rain cover has a hood and basically will cover my pack as well as come up over my head, and so the rain won't go down between into my neck, between my head and my pack. So That should be good to keep the rain out of the pack. Okay, the next thing I like to go over is my sleeping pad. On my last hike, I used the Thermarest Neo, I think it's the Neo Air X-Lite sleeping pad. I'm not going to take it out, but that's the blow-up pad. Very lightweight, packs down very small in the pack. So that was very nice, and I tend to get backaches when I sleep when I'm packing, and I didn't get a backache with that mat. So that was real nice. The only thing is you do have to blow it up every night. So I'm going to try on my next hike to use this Thermarest Z-Lite, the fold-up mat. Again, both of them are very light. This one's a little bigger. Might be a little lighter. I forget the weight of the two, but I'm going to try this one on the next one. It's easier to set up. You just unfold it. It's like an accordion. Put it down and throw. The other one too makes a lot of noise, and you slide around a lot on it. So if you're on a little bit of a hill, I tend to slide down and slide off. It wakes me up a lot. So I'm hoping that this one I won't slide as much, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to stand using it if I get backaches. But this is the one I'm going to take on my next hike. All right, so I also have this little piece of Reflectix. Again, just a small piece that I folded up, and I can unroll that into a little seat so that if it's raining or something, or I'm going to be sitting for a while and I don't want to sit right on the ground or on the wet ground, I can pull that out and throw it under me so I'm not sitting on the wet, dirty ground. I did make some mats out of the Reflectix, rolled them up, and I tried one of those last year. They're kind of thin, so I think the Thermarest X-Lite would be better for a mat. But I'm going to try that for a seat as I travel. My food bag right now, we do some kayaking, so I have this Seal Line waterproof bag that we use when we kayak. That's what I'm using for now for my food bag until I decide what I'm going to do for bags. Okay, for my eating wear, I have this Sea to Summit spork, very lightweight. I have an MSR pocket rocket, very lightweight. The wings fold up, hooks onto this canister, little propane can. So I'll take 2 propane cans. This is an extra. And for my cookware, I have this old Camping Gas International pan. There used to be a stove that went with it, but they don't make the gas canisters that the stove went with. Okay, so there it is opened up. Inside I have a little piece of a chamois cloth that I can use to wipe stuff off, dry stuff off with. It also keeps I have a second fuel container inside of there, and a little handle. Basically what I plan on doing is just boiling water inside of the pans and then pouring my water into various kinds of food, whether it be oatmeal or a dry food container, and try to keep the pans clean and pour the water in. So that's my cooking gear. Another thing I just picked up was this Cocoon travel pillow. It's a blow-up pillow. It's very comfortable. What I like is, you can fill it all the way up if you want it pretty thick, or if it's a little too thick and stiff for you, you can always let some air out. And I tried it on the last trip. It worked pretty good, so I'm going to keep trying that. For my water filtration, inside of this bag, I have a Sawyer Mini. And I think I'm going to upgrade that to the regular Sawyer. I hit some pretty dirty water on the last trip. And I've only used it on 2 trips. I've had it for a while, but I've only used it on 2 backpacking trips. And the first one, it worked fine. This last trip, it slowed down for a while. I had to back flush through it and wasn't comfortable taking water out of the stream and back flushing through. So it in only a couple backpacking trips, a 3 to 4 day trip and a, say, 4 to 5 day trip, this thing started slowing down quite a bit. So I wasn't too happy with that. So I'm going to try the regular Sawyer and see if that works better for me. And then the rest of my gear, I have a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. I did get my kids for Father's Day picked me up the Hyperlight Mountain Gear shoulder pocket, and I really like this. This is what I'm going to put my i8 phone, which is what I'm using to film right now. I may go with a GoPro, but right now I'm using my i8. I can throw a thing of hand sanitizer in the front and then throw my phone inside here. It'll be up on right on my shoulder. That works really well. So my wife actually won this Light AF front pack down at Trail Days, and I will actually use that to put miscellaneous food items, snacks that I can eat during the day. It'll be hanging right in front of me. Also, I'll put in there my toothpaste and any other smelly stuff. And at the end of the day, I can take that pack and just throw it in with the food bag and hang it up with the bear bag or put it in a bear box. To charge up my phone, I have a battery bank. This is the Anker Power Cord Speed 10,000. Not sure if this is going to be big enough. It might give me, charge for 2 or 3 days, but I'm not quite sure that's going to do it. I'm going to try it for a while. 2 of them or get a larger one, but for now, that's what I'm planning on using. Okay, and I also have this Insignia multi-USB port charger. When I get into town or find a plug anywhere, this will come in handy to plug multiple items at once. I also have a Black Diamond flashlight. I forget the model, but it's a small, lightweight one. Has the red light on it, which is good. I'm not comfortable just taking the one light one, so I also have this Ozark Trail flashlight as a backup. And then I have a bunch of miscellaneous items, my water bottle. I have 2 of those. And on top of the water bottle is the Liberty Mountain Bottle Bandit. And it's just a little piece of rubber with a carabiner clip at the end. And the carabiner clips onto your backpack right about the shoulder. And with that little rubber thing on there, it's very flexible. I can just actually lift it up and drink straight from the bottle. So that's pretty nice. My kids also got me that for Father's Day. So it was very, very good gift. Comes in handy and was very useful on my last trip. And another thing I'll be bringing along is this bandana that I can dip in water, cool myself off with, wipe my face, wipe things off. Also comes in handy tying on my shoulder strap at the bottom of my bottle so it doesn't flop around when it's hanging there on the carabiner. Comes in handy for many things. I got a miscellaneous pack or a little bag there if I want to throw some stuff in. I've got the AT guide, AWOL. This is the 2018 guide. So I think what we'll do is we'll leave that one with my wife, and when I do the trail next year, I'll get the updated one to take with me. A must for me is to take a Bible. This is a New Testament and Psalms, so it's lightweight, so probably that's what I'll focus on reading while I'm on the trail. Right now I have a couple knives. This is a very lightweight knife that was given to me as a gift. Thank you, John. And this is a heavier pocket knife. I'm carrying it right now. It is heavy, but it has a little bit of everything in there. It's got scissors, it's got a couple knives, it's got a file, screwdrivers. So I may take that because it could come in handy. I also have my headphones. Those are nice. I got an adapter for my iPhone because I like these the headphones with the loops on them so they don't fall off. I got a little clip on there. This one has a mic on it. And then I've got a little bag here with some string in it. I can throw a rock in this bag, tie it onto my food bag, and that's what I'll toss up for a bear hang. And I have a little bug net in case the bugs get too bad. I got a little paracord wristband. Again, if I'll wear that just in case I need a piece of cord for an emergency. And I probably will carry a couple extra clips on my pack. They always come in handy to clip something down or hang something. Got a, I'll probably bring fingernail clips. On my phone I have gut hooks, which will be very handy of making sure I don't get lost. But in case something happens to the phone or I don't have reception, I always like to bring a manual compass. This is a nice lightweight one that's pretty reliable. Something else I forgot, I have the official stick pick, which I picked up down at Trail Days. Works pretty good. I've used it a few times, not a lot, but it works well. And I've got another little carabiner with a piece of string on it that I can hang my night shoes on, my sandals. So that's about it for now. I think I covered everything that I'm using at this moment. As you can see, with the changes I've made on my tent, my backpack, my pad, I've really lowered my weight quite a bit. When I did the Connecticut section, I was up over 45 pounds. On this last hike, including food, I got it down to about 30 pounds. That included food and water. So complete beginning of the hike, I had about 4 or 5 days of food. I got it down to 30 pounds, so that was a big drop. I still need to get some new waterproof bags to sort my gear out in, and I'm using just a trash bag liner at this time. So still working on it, figuring things out. I'm going to be going out on another hike in a little while and see how things work. Thanks for watching.